This PSA was brought to you by the Peter G Show.
You may have second thoughts after the show.
Don't drink the faucet. We're really talented. We should get Oscars.
Just pick out a car, for Christ's sake.
No, I'm one. Hi, my name is Peter. Yeah, I want. Here's good.
Yeah.
Madam Perry.
I need to get back in the genie bottle.
Louis from Pennsylvania, you're on. He likes it. It's showtime.
Peter G Show, Peter G Show, divorce dad, single dad, divorce dad, single dad, Peter G Show.
That's right. It is Wednesday and it is showtime. Wednesday. How the hell is everybody? Welcome to Life of Peter G, the Peter G Show. Every Wednesday like clockwork, 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, and 9 p.m. on that East Coast. God willing. Deep breaths, nice and calm. Everything is A-okay. Hope everybody's doing well. You had and I really hope that everybody had a great 4th of July weekend, taking advantage of what is given to us and taking a little time. Not everybody, you don't have to do anything super exciting or anything like that. It's just the fact of being here. That's a gift in itself, but that's it. We got a great show tonight. We really do. I, once again, put my feet to the fire, but I feel it's needing to be done. And so here we are. Hi, my name is Peter. We're going to be talking about the weekend, how the weekend went for a lot of people. You know, there's a lot of people from not this country, from other countries because of the World Cup and the soccer and all that. I'm telling you, soccer fans are deep. Those guys will live and die for their country's soccer team. I mean, it's just the way it is. And a lot of people have traveled to the United States to catch these games at these stadiums. And, the media paints a different picture. In Europe, they talk about us, the United States, a lot different. Well, they don't talk that great about us over here either. The media sucks. It's changed so much. But it's, it's intense. They paint a whole different picture. So then all these foreigners come here and they get to see for themselves. And I got a few videos, and we're going to hear from them about, not only just being around the world, the United States, checking out what our United States has to offer, scenery and just, everything, but also about the whole 4th of July 250th celebration of our freedom, and what they thought about all of the above. Don't forget, you can comment and you can share and like and subscribe, just like Steve B. Good evening, Steve B. Love you for tuning in. You were bright and early. That's good. Marking you as present. There you go. But again, the best thing you can do for me is by sharing and following. Facebook, come on. We're so close to cracking 100 grand of followers. And again, this month, 2 million views. I'm stoked. Love you for it. That's a big deal. You don't know what a hard climb it's been. We've been at it since what? The 40s, right? And so that says a lot. And I'm very grateful. And that's why I never stop telling you this, because it's you, the people, that make it what it is. But anyway, besides us talking about how the weekend went and views from people who don't live in this country, who get to see with their own eyes what this country is actually really all about, you're going to be very interested in that. But on top of that, the main headliner, Islamic immigration and takeovers and what's going on in England. And, if you think that everything's okay and we should be nice, you're wrong. You're wrong. Now, don't misinterpret this, okay? There's a ton of beautiful Muslim people that are good people. There we go. Where are we at here? Pensacola in the house. Good. I'm glad you made it. I'm checking you. Are you tardy or did you make it on time? You made it on time. You're good. All right. You're not that. There's a look. Just like any other race, color. I don't care about colors and all that. I care about good and bad. All right. Iran was a great country until the ideological radical Islams came in and ruined it because they're caveman with caveman ethics, and they're not going to change. Okay, they're not going to change, and they ruin everything they touch. Go talk to people in England right now. England, if they ever can regain their country, that'll be something to see. What's Steve say? Don't forget the discovery of ranch dressing. I digress. I can't think of everything, Steve. Thank you. And the Indians, I was listening to Adam Carolla, and he was talking about people inventing stuff because, what's her name? Crotchet, that black girl from Texas, the idiot. She was talking about how black women invented everything. Like, she kills me. How the hell these people actually make a living? It just blows my mind, and a good living at that. That's what's really that should be against the law. You can't be that stupid and be entitled to make a decent living. I'm not saying she's like formally stupid, but it's just life stupid. Life stupid is different. You could be the most educated person in the world, and I respect that. But if you don't have street smarts and some common sense, that doesn't really work. You have to have that combination. I mean, it could work. I'm sure there's always a percentage, 80-20. But given the choice, if I said, okay, you only can have one skill, street smarts or education, I'd go for street smarts because that's survivability. What the hell is going on here? Did you just put a star up there, Lonnie, in the house? How do you get a blue star? I'm seeing a blue star. Either way, you guys can comment through the night. If you're watching on the official Facebook Peter G Show page, you can comment, and I can see your comments. If you're watching from the official YouTube Peter G Show page, I can see your comments. And if you're watching from LinkedIn, the official Peter G Show page, I can see your comments. But you got to be on the official Peter G Show Facebook page, not my other couple of Peter Gisellis or Peter G pages. It's got to be the official Peter G Show page, all right? So anyway, we're going to be talking about what's going on with Islam and over in Europe and how it's affecting us here in the United States. And it is starting to become alarming. Now, although I do believe that if push really came to shove, they really started getting way out of control, I don't think most Americans will allow it because this country's a lot more armed than most countries. However, you don't want to have to get to that point. We got to nip this in the butt. I'm telling you now. And we'll get into that, okay? But that's what's going on tonight. So, just buckle up. It's going to be a really informative show. There's a lot of show going on tonight, okay? I'm going to try to keep going through it, but it just, there's so much to talk about, and I want to make sure you people get the point. Somebody told me they wrote on. They said, "Stop with your bullshit propaganda and shut the fuck up." He told me to shut the fuck up. And it's like, this isn't propaganda. Therefore, I will not. I will show you this isn't propaganda. Wake up, people, for those who are asleep. Most of you all get it. You understand. Anyway, that's what's going on with all of that. But listen, before we kind of really get started, let's get our astrological forecast for the week from Moon Mistress Tarot. I think I know I need a little Kickstarter. It's been a long week, but success. I just feel like sometimes I have to put in way more time that's necessary just for a soul refresher to remind me to never get too comfortable. But anyway, We'll be back in a minute, and as soon as she tells us where we're going for the week. All right, here you go.
Hello, my loves. And yes, it's all about the money, honey. Your money. This month of July is all about luck and abundance with Jupiter. We just had the 7-7 portal this week, and it is all about making it happen. So let's see how it's affecting your zodiac sign. We're going to start off, with my water signs. Knight of Wands, that's some fire, babies. So yes, that desire, you're going for it, my babies, go for it. That's Pisces, that's my Scorpios and my Cancers, loving that. Let's go with my air signs. How about some money, honey? 7 of Pentacles energy. It talks about long-term investments and money that you may be seeing very soon. I love that energy. So for Aquarius and Geminis and Libras, there you go, babies. Earth signs, you got the magic in you. There you are, my darlings. All right, my darlings, finishing up my fire signs. You're bringing it home with the Sun card. That's Make-A-Wish. That's prosperity. That's happiness. And that's definitely some money, honey. So, my darlings, I love that. For my beautiful Sagittarius and my Leos. And, I always think about my Aries. Beautiful energy, my darlings. To find out what's going on and how it's going to affect your zodiac sign, moonmistrestarot.com. As always, back to you, Peter.
Back to me, Peter. That's right. To find out more about your astrological journey and your cosmic connection, go to moonmistrestarot.com, get a reading, see what's in store for your future, because everybody needs a little help, a little bit of direction. So go check her out. Let her help you out. All right. And one more thing. You think I was going pretty good on keeping on what I need to do in order, because I actually wrote things down tonight because it was so much, but I forgot one. I want to remind you, next week, Wednesday, July 15th, I'm going to have Miss Debbie Hansen on this show. She's with the Flora May Foundation. She helps desperate parents, struggling kids and teens that are, with experiencing mental health challenges and substance abuse. They help the parents who are going crazy worrying about their kids. And it's a nonprofit, like if they need, counseling and mental health help and things like that. And we're going to talk to her. She was supposed to be on the show, I don't know, a month and a half, 2 months ago or whatever. And then she had an emergency and we had to cancel. So I finally were squeezing her back in. And she's going to be right here on this show Wednesday, next week, Wednesday, July 15th. Ms. Debbie Hansen from the Flora May Foundation, who helps desperate parents dealing with their struggling teens with drug abuse and mental health issues. And again, they help the parents cope, because I'm telling you, if you love your kids, it kills you from the inside out watching your kids struggle. Nobody wants to see that. So join me next Wednesday, July 15th. Yeah, there we go. You think I know that? I just said it 3 times, but 4 times a charm. Anyway, all right. So I told you that we were going to talk about the 4th of July weekend. And I got to tell you, has anybody had, now maybe because I do this more than some, but I talk about, okay, here's how to do it. I know there's tons of people who wish people happy 4th of July. I know I got a million happy 4th of July memes and wishes on Facebook and things like that. Every once in a while, with a show of hands, I want you to raise your hands. Who got a response, screw this country, stolen land, what has it ever done for me, or something like that? If you got one of those responses, raise your hand, just like this. Just like this. Raise them. Let me see. Yeah. Yeah. There's always somebody who's just bitter, pissed off, woke, libtarded, I don't know, whatever. They just life sucks, you suck, the whole world sucks, and that just kind of bugs me, because I hate this stolen land bullshit, because it's bullshit. They want you to be, sorry for something that happened hundreds of years ago, way, way more than 250 years ago. So here's a little video. I just happened to come across this, and it's another ridiculously young person talking about, screw the country, this and that. But it just kills me. So I thought I'd share it with you, and it's educational too. The kid that's talking about she's wrong has a lot of good information, and that's why we do this. Hi, my name is Peter. Thank you for watching. Here we go. Check it out.
July 4th is not the 250th anniversary of America becoming an independent country.
No, it quite literally is the 250th anniversary of America becoming an independent country. But sure, let's hear you, the American who just hates America, who refuses to leave America. Let's hear what you have to say.
July 4th is the 250th anniversary of America stealing this nation, stealing this land from Native people while simultaneously spreading disease to those Native people, killing and raping those Native people to be able to call America their home.
The Declaration of Independence, July 4th, happened 170 years after the settlers arrived and encountered those Native Americans. You do understand that, right? We were declaring our freedom from the British with the Declaration of Independence, with the 4th of July. You want everybody to apologize for what we, not us, but our ancestors did to the indigenous peoples. Okay, sure. Right after you explain to me why this is the only conquest in human history that has to come with some inherited apology by people who were living hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years after said conquest occurred. You think that before Europeans arrived, that this continent was basically at peace, that there were all of these tribes living in harmony with nature, with each other, and then the white man just showed up and invented violence. That's just not true. It's a myth. You ever heard of the Black Hills? Oh, I know you haven't. Sacred Lakota land taken by America, the most famous stolen land case in this country. The Lakota took the Black Hills from the Cheyenne by force around 1776, the same decade that America was founded. And then the Cheyenne took them from the Kiowa before that. Conquest on top of conquest on top of conquest by the natives. You ever heard of Crow Creek? Again, I know you haven't. It's in South Dakota. Nearly 500 men, women, and children were massacred. They were also mutilated and scalped. That was in the year 1325, a century before Columbus was born. You know, the bad white man who just brought all the other bad white men with him. You know, the tribes of the Pacific Northwest, they ran hereditary slave societies. In some places, a quarter of the population was enslaved. I know you haven't heard of the Comanche, but just let me tell you, they built an actual empire on raiding and captive slave trade, and they drove the Apache off of the southern plains entirely. And I'm sure you've heard of the Aztecs. I know you don't know anything about them, but they were so brutal to their neighbors that when Cortez landed, tens of thousands of native warriors joined him to take them down. And one anthropologist ran the per capita numbers. The warfare deaths in many of the tribal societies were higher than 20th century Europe. So, you know, that's how much they were killing each other. By the way, that would include both world wars. But, you know, the white man's bad, right? The peaceful, mystical Indian thing, the myth that you're taught in school is a cartoon, and cartoons aren't real. You don't know history. You don't know how the world has always operated. So this apology you're asking for existing on conquered land. Every human alive is standing on conquered land. So, no thanks. And also, just understand again, the Declaration of Independence signifies our freedom, our separation from Britain after the American Revolution. It has nothing to do with 1607, or Jamestown, or Plymouth Rock. Get off of TikTok.
Don't you love it when somebody has the correct answer? Don't you wish you could just play that for somebody so that way, the minute they start bitching about something, you could just play that, and then once it's over, you just hit the stop button, click, and say, "Now shut the fuck up." I do, because again, that is the problem. Everybody's being fed through this internet. I mean, I'm giving out information too, so you can say I'm feeding information too, but there's a difference between correct information and incorrect information. So that's my point, which leads me back to the always answer. Just take a breath and shut the fuck up before you run your mouth and you don't know what you're talking about. It's just that simple. Let's see. There we go. Well, Steve, we get Steve B's approval. Good explanation. It is a good explanation, Steve. And here at the Peter G Show, we spare no expense at explaining stuff. But it is. And that's the whole thing. I just, I go this pretty much because, look, we even heard it on the not the Oscars, the Grammys. What the hell was her name? The talking about stolen land. Oh my God. I like her too. I liked her music, kind of. She's young, but man, they are so friggin' woke. I see them doing ads for the most biggest bullshit, and you can just tell they're reading. They're reading, and it's just so not. It just isn't right. It's so insincere. They're just doing it, and they feel like they're doing the right thing. What the hell's her name? Anyway, her brother writes the songs, and she's the one who performs them, and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, they were talking about stolen land, and so then they were all over her ass going, why don't you give up your mansion? You know, that's on land, stolen land. And all of a sudden, there was crickets. Yeah. Hey, here's another one. This is about 4th of July with Mondami, the friggin' Democratic Socialist Muslim mayor in New York that got elected. Let me tell you something. He got elected because only 17% of New York voted. So shame on you, New York. The only people that voted was all the kids that he got riled up, promising them everything for free, which they're never going to get. All the regular New Yorkers, nobody voted. And now you got what you got. And I feel bad for you, because it's our country, but it sucks. And it's not going to, and we're going to be more into that. But this is Mondami about 4th of July, talking about, what 4th of July and, his take on the whole deal, and I don't think it's that great. But here you go, you judge for yourself.
Hi, Mamdani. Actual Americans here.
As we mark 250 years, what do we see? We see a city of contradictions within a nation of contradictions.
You know what we see? We see this.
We see masked agents terrorizing our streets, eating food cooked by our undocumented neighbors.
We see the only nation on this planet where you can come here from the third world and become a citizen just 8 years before becoming mayor of the largest city in this nation and still profess your hatred for it.
And we see a nation that has allowed so much of that wealth to be held instead in the soft hands of a precious few.
We see the only nation where there are no government-enforced limits on how much you're allowed to achieve, let alone how low you're allowed to set your thermostat.
What do we see?
We see an experiment that set an example for liberty around the world and a third world 7th century militant force trying to turn us into Schmuckistan. But guess what? That's not going to happen because we will never become a communist or an Islamist country. We will always be America. So happy 4th and eat it. Eat it, Mamdani.
Yeah, eat it, Mondami. You go, girl. Good job. Good job. Bravo. She's right. She's right. And I'm telling you, New York's in big trouble. It's just beginning. It's just beginning. But New Yorkers, there's a good handful of New Yorkers that already they're on the war path. They're not having it. But the old saying, you're fighting City Hall, and it's getting thicker and thicker and harder to beat. But good job. And those jets flying overhead, yeah, that's the sound of freedom. I get woke up 3 days a week by the sound of freedom. But it's okay. That's one sound that I am not bitching about. I'm very fortunate. I don't take it for granted. I'm very fortunate. But speaking of fortunate, here's a gentleman talking about flying the American flag and the luxury of being able to do that. Why? Well, I'll let him tell you that, and you'll get it from there. Here you go.
Right now, in the UK, people are getting fined for flying the British flag. One of my friends had his flag attached to his fence, and it's been ripped down on 3 separate occasions. But in America, they fly their flag proud and humongous. Can you see that flag behind me? Why are we not as patriotic as they are in America? Look at the size of that thing. I've never seen anything like that. We wouldn't be allowed that in the UK, which is crazy to think about. You're not even allowed to fly your own flag in your own country. What is going on? If you saw somebody ripping down the American flag in America, what would you do? Be honest with me, get in the comments and let me know. But look at the sheer size of that thing, man. That is absolutely incredible. Look at that flag. That is ridiculous. I don't even know if you can tell how big that is, but that is huge. Wow.
Yeah. See, you don't know these things because we live here and you figure this is the norm. That's the same thing in other countries for people who don't get out of their country, don't get out of their neighborhood, don't get out of their cities. They only know what they know. So you have somebody who's lived somewhere else and he finds out the difference in freedoms, back to freedom. I mean, that's England. England's supposed to be a pretty democratic country, but it's not now. And we'll get into that. Again, they're getting overrun. They're not getting overrun. They are overrun with Islam. It's getting worse and worse. And now they're infiltrating the government. Like they're getting elected as mayors, council people, schools, and they're indoctrinating all that bullshit into everybody there, kids especially. Start bringing them up young, they don't know anything else. If you never spoke to a child as he was growing up, he'd never learn how to speak. If you did speak to a child as he's growing up, what you speak to him is all he's going to know. And they believe that as to be the truth. That's what's happening over there. That place is getting so twisted. I don't understand it. I really don't how you could let your country go to shit as an American, not American, but as an Englishman or whatever. But they have that plan to destroy everything. And then let's let everything go to one world order or new world order. We'll talk about that down the line, too. I will be talking about the WEF some more in other shows. We're not letting up on this stuff because it is so important. But here's somebody from another country. Oh, no, I take that back. Where am I? Did I forget? Oh, no, I want to make sure I don't screw up the order. I woke up Monday morning, and all over the internet was about that Patriot Front, that those guys that were walking around, 300-400 guys in Boy Scout uniforms with flags, with the white masks on. I mean, it was the minute I saw this, I go, oh, here we go again. Because I saw that a couple of years ago. There was these pictures of them getting out of a U-Haul truck and stuff like that. It's organized bullshit. But they made their point. I mean, they got so much traction and so much attention, and plus you have the people that buy into it, that they're white supremacists, yet they caused no trouble. They didn't do anything. They just made sure they were seen. But I'm telling you, majority of these people were basement gamers making a few extra bucks on a weekend because they got paid to put on they bought them new clothes from Sears and Roebuck and gave them and said, here, all you got to do is just march and all this kind of stuff and just be there. And they got them out of the house. But here's somebody talking about that. And I just think it's just such bullshit. But here, he'll explain it.
Hey, what's up, America? The Southern Poverty Law Center. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. The Patriot Front is marching in Washington, D.C., making an ass of themselves. Hey, let's take a look at some videos of the pay-for-play pretend-a-fascists coming over to Washington, D.C. Hey, that Southern Poverty Law Center money spends the same, doesn't it? Let's take a look. Everybody point and laugh. Point and laugh. Of course, here's the Patriot Front navigating the rigors of subway entrances in Washington, D.C. There it is. One at a time, fellas, one at a time. And of course, here comes the Southern Poverty Law Center recipients right here. And of course, this image is going viral of a bunch of Patriot Front fakers surrounding a lone black woman sitting in the subway there. Weak. I don't know, just in my opinion, this is just pay-for-play, made-up horse shit. Some infiltration from the Southern Poverty Law Center. I mean, I can't unsee it. I'm sorry. I don't know what you think about this. It's got just bad juju written all over it. So tell me what you think about the Southern Poverty Patriot Front.
He's pretty much right. It is a bunch of horse shit. I mean, the minute I saw it, again, if you know, you know. But what did they? They did a great job of being seen everywhere. They went, hey, let's take the subway. Let's get on the subway. Let's all go through the airport. They made sure that they drew as much attention as they could. What did they prove? Good question. Just got people talking. Some people are stupid, scared, ignorant, scared. I don't mean that. Ignorant, scared. Some people just laughing, point and laugh. Like you said, I mean, you see it. Their clothes are nice and neat. Mommy picked them out, ironed them, put them on the bed. And then, they went to Sears and Roebuck, and in the Boy Scout department, they still got the khakis. They got the khakis. And, a couple of them got badges, some patches and stuff like that for being, repeat paid protesters or whatever you want to call it. But again, I'll give them credit. They were peaceful, even if they were for real. They didn't do any harm. What point did they make? Who cares? Who cares? Like, all right, yeah, go claim America. All right, good job. But here's just one last opinion of hang on, I don't want to get ahead of myself here. Yeah. Just one last opinion of the Patriot, what do they call themselves? Patriot Front? Whatever they are. I got all their names from, but here you go.
Yes. Look, the propaganda that I once fell for, now knowing very much that these people are paid by the Democratic Party. That's right. These people are paid by the SPLC or George Soros. Either way, it's paid for by Democrats. Y'all are fucking stupid. We already know this. And I already know that Republicans don't go out and do stupid shit like this. Yeah, we don't. We go out when it matters, like for midterms.
See, a quickie but a goodie. I mean, this guy used to believe in all that stuff, but he woke up. And once you start figuring it out, you'll figure it out. And you start going, okay, this is really stupid. But you can't unsee it, like they said. Speaking of seeing, I want to show you a gentleman who's from England, I believe, who's expressing his thoughts on this country while he's out visiting America. And unbeknownst to the way the media paints it, he has a complete different view of what America really is like. And he shares his opinion on social media. And I just wanted to share it with you because you just need to understand that the media is the culprit. The media has just changed so much, but people keep trusting them because we grew up trusting them, but they're not anymore. You cannot. They are all in bed with each other, and it sucks. But here, listen to this guy. I just thought it's very worthy of. I mean, this really paints the picture. Hearing it from people who don't live here. Here you go.
I don't give a damn what anybody says. No country celebrates like America. Yesterday was absolutely electric. The people, the fireworks, the food, everybody out on the street when the parade was going on. I've never seen so many people in such an amazing mood. No other country I've experienced gets down like America gets down. The flags, everything was unbelievable. I'm going to insert some clips, show you the parade. This mad. The fireworks that I experienced yesterday, I have never seen fireworks like it. They told me that the person that runs the fireworks spent around $350,000 on the fireworks, and it's free to attend. If that was in the UK, you can bet your bottom dollar they would be charging like £50 per ticket. I love America. I love you guys. Unreal. Nobody throws a celebration like America, let me tell you.
Come on. Come on. I mean, that guy is just blown away, and there's many people like this, of what he's seeing. Because he's right. You don't know how good you have it, even if you think it sucks, here in the United States compared to other places. I remember one of the first things I noticed when I was going to Europe and things like that was the food. Europeans, like, well, not all Europeans, but like in England, meat is scarce or very, very expensive, more than here. You think, and it's just bullshit food. They eat this bullshit. I remember in catering once, it was a butter sandwich. Now, I'm not saying it's not good. I mean, because, butter's good, and I understand that. But here I am, and it's like, let's get something to eat. They got catering or whatever. And it's like a butter sandwich. It's like that was their interpretation of, something, food. And meat's very, very expensive in Europe. I mean, England especially, and things like that. And so this guy comes over along with the many, and I know probably a lot of these people are here because of World Cup and things like that, and they're experiencing crazy good. So be grateful. And here we'll hear from somebody who's definitely here for the World Cup and who came here and was told completely the opposite. And this is what her interpretation. I mean, yeah, I think it's a her. Is it? I don't know. We'll find out what their interpretation of it is. I can't remember. Sorry. It's a lot of video clips. I should have wrote more details. It doesn't matter. All I know is that the facts are the facts. So here you go.
So many of you reached out after my last video that I had to say this one more time. The media has been lying to you about America, and the World Cup just proved it. For years, European and Canadians have been fed the same narrative. America is dangerous. Americans are ignorant. The culture is shallow. The food will kill you. And people believed it. Why? Because they saw it on the news. They read it online. They never actually went. Then the World Cup came, and millions of people who had never set foot in the US suddenly showed up. And you know what they found? Friendly people, incredible energy, stadiums that blew their minds, hospitality they didn't even expect. Video after video of Europeans and Canadians saying, I had no idea, I was completely wrong, this is nothing like what I was told. And that's exactly the problem. The media doesn't profit from you having a good experience. It profits from fear, division, outrage. A Canadian family having the time of their life in Texas doesn't get clicks, A crime story does. So that's all you ever see. That's all you ever hear. And slowly, without even realizing it, your entire worldwide view gets shaped by people who want you to be afraid. And look, in my opinion, the World Cup didn't just bring football to America. It accidentally broke the most powerful propaganda machine in the world, because people finally went and saw it for themselves. So stop letting a screen decide what you think about a place. Go experience it, because I promise you the truth is always different from what they're selling you. Always.
And that is the truth. The media are son of a bitches. They don't make money talking about puppies and happy. They just don't. And it sucks. What they say, it's a slow news day. They want awful things to talk about, to keep you on the edge of your seat. This World Cup thing, I think, has just been great. I mean, it's been nothing but a love fest. I mean, there has been a couple of little incidences. I heard there was something in San Diego. Couple of things went wrong, but nothing surprised me. San Diego's gone downhill, too. San Diego was a beautiful place. I hope they can get it back together again once they get rid of Newsom, the governor, and all these people in office over there. But anyway, there's been stadiums all over the country with all these international teams coming and all these people from other places to support their international team, their nation's team. And it's been nothing but a hug fest. I mean, okay, they're fighting. They want their team to win, but they're not burning cars. They're not overturning cars. They're not, destroying buses. They're, they're not breaking windows in stores. That's the way it's supposed to be. It's pretty embarrassing when our own basketball teams and the fans, that's what they do every single time the Lakers win or the Knicks win or whoever wins. They have to destroy shit. But again, that's our inner city upbringing, which we'll talk about that down the road too, because I've about had it up to here with what's going on with a certain percentage of our youth. And I'm going to start calling them out. Going to have to. But that's pretty much, I mean, this woman's telling you how friggin' awesome it is. And you need to believe her, because believing the news is not going to get us anywhere. They just want you down. They want you in fear. And it sucks. Speaking of good stuff, though, I want to take a quick minute and hear from our good friends over at Clean Start Products with their money-saving fuel additive DX1 driver, because let's face it, folks, it makes sense to save money in fuel and repairs and all that's the good stuff. But I'll be right back in about a minute, and then we'll get back to things. All right, here you go.
Hello, I'm Tyrone Thompson of CleanStarProducts.com. This is DX1 Driver in the news, and here's what our friends have to say.
So I'm here to recap on the DX1 I've used. I put it in the oil and I put it in the gas. While I'm using it just for about 3 tanks. Cleaned everything out. I got every ounce of power back in my truck.
When Jared's truck was new, it had a lot of power. Then over time, it began to slow down. He got it all back with our DX1 driver program.
Something you got to see for yourself. It's a great product. It's affordable. And it blows all the other additives and esters out of the water.
DX1 driver is the finest oil in the world from a California environmental company. It goes into the fuel system and the oil. It's the only green grade product qualified for the carbon credits program, giving you better fuel mileage, lower emissions, and increased horsepower. So join the fuel savings revolution today. Go to CleanStarProducts.com/shop.
That's right, folks. Clean Start Products with our money-saving fuel additive DX1 driver. I have 2 words for you. It works, and it does. I use it myself. I would never be talking about this had I not used it, and made me a believer. Don't believe me. They have a website. Go to it. www.cleanstartproducts. All kinds of answers to their product, explains their product. It's real simple. You just take this little bitty bottle. I mean, it comes in different packaging now, I think. I've kept this as a prop because it's solid, but sometimes there's these squeezy bags and little ways that it comes in. But either way, this little bitty 4-ounce bottle, I believe it is, services your average 4-door sedan, okay? You pour one of these in a clean oil change, and that lasts you, 5,000-6,000 miles for your average American car? If you have a Mercedes or a Bentley or something like that, 10,000-12,000 miles. And then every time you fill up your tank, you put one of these little bottles into your tank, fuel up your tank, let it mix in with that, and drive. It's that simple. It couldn't be any easier, all right? But I'm telling you, I noticed the difference. I really did. What's in it, how it works, you would think, how can this little thing work? But again, you're going to have questions, all right? So I encourage you to not only go to their website, but there's a phone number on their website, and I have it right in front of you right there. I'm giving it to you right there in front of you, okay? 310-200-8931. Call them. They want to talk to you because they're proud of their product. They know that they have a product that works, all right? And they'll answer all your questions personally. I love being able to converse with someone than going back and forth on texts, because texts sometimes get misinterpreted, and I hate that. Misunderstood. So, that to me, it's like, hey, you're right there. I can talk to you. It's like instantaneous, gratification for your, questions being answered. On top of that, though, is a real big reason. Here's the kicker. You call them at that number and you get all your questions answered and you decide to order. You mention that you saw it on the Peter G Show. Why? Because if you mention you saw it on the Peter G Show, they will send you 5 bottles for the price of 4. That's right. 5 bottles for the price of 4. A deal's a deal. And that makes a good starter kit because you pour one in the brand new oil change that will last you, 5,000-6,000 miles. I was thinking Mercedes. Either way, you know what it's going to last you a long time, and then you have 4 bottles left. So I would strongly recommend you can use those 4 bottles consecutively. You let your tank run down kind of low. Don't let it go way to the bottom because it sucks up a lot of dirt and stuff like that. But when your fuel tank gets low, put this little bottle in and then fill it up. Drive it, run it down again, put another bottle in, put it in. I'm telling you, I noticed the difference by about the 3rd bottle. I could tell the difference. I knew something was happening. And they made a believer out of me. I mean, repairs are expensive. Good food, good body. All I can tell you is it cleans out everything. It gives the engine more lubricity, less friction, less wear and tear, equals less repairs, longer ownership without having to spend money on stuff that you know how much it costs to fix a car. Can't stand it. I hate it. And then everybody's complaining. This is a simple solution. Just stay healthy. Don't go to the doctor as much. Same, analogy, all right? Right there. Take that number, but go to their website, www.cleanstartproducts.com. The number's there. Call them. Mention it. You saw it on the Peter G Show. I'm telling you, why not get a deal if you can, all right? All right. We're getting ready to go into high gear now, and I do mean high. High. Where are we at? Okay. Let's take a sip first. Now that we're getting going, because I'm thirsty. All this damn stuff is exciting and making me thirsty. So salute. Thank you for watching Life of Peter G, The Peter G Show. Share, share, share. I love you for paying attention and sharing. And don't forget, follow and subscribe and all that. It's free. It just helps. Keeps the bean counters off my back. There are numbers, people. I don't care about numbers, but unfortunately, I have to care about numbers. There you go. Salute. Oh. Smooth. It's worth it. There we go. Isn't that right, Butthead?
Smooth.
Right. Smooth. Yeah. All right. So I told you that we are going to, as our headliner, got a lot of content here. So stick around, folks. Call your friends. Education time. More education. Upper level education. Need to know education. I tell you we were going to talk about Islam, Muslim people, and things like that. Again, I am the farthest from racists. Okay? I don't care if you're black, white, yellow, brown, orange, green. Doesn't matter to me. I care if you're good or if you're bad. There's a lot of Muslims out there that are Christian Muslims. And there's a lot of them that are Islamic. Islam. I keep trying to... I had a guest on that told me that there's no such word as Islamic, although we use it all the time. It's just Islam. But that is a radical ideology / religion. It's just prehistorical caveman bullshit. They ruin everything they touch. If you pay attention enough, how could you imagine living in that type of civilization that they are trying to promote? They're taking you back into the Stone Age. Literally. They will stone you to death. They will women for wearing a skirt, not covering up their face. They feel they can rape non-Muslims and it's okay. I mean, they just give themselves all the good perks that you'd want to do that would throw you in jail and make it legal and use Allah as an excuse. It's just crazy based on their Quran. And I'm sorry. You want to go do it? Great. Go do it at your house. But their whole purpose is to take over, to infiltrate, and then make people either assimilate or die. It's that simple. And we have a lot of stupid things that have been going on in the world lately, all based on the WEF with the one world order and all that. They wanted to cripple all these countries, and then that way they can step in and say, don't worry, we're going to take care of all of this. You got to trust us, which is like the craziest thing in the world. So they just started flooding the gates. They started opening all these borders, and all these leaders agreed. And they're just letting anybody and everybody in everywhere. England, Australia, Scotland, all these places, they've had it up to here. And they've had it up to here with their white leaders, too. Like I said, I don't care what color you are. There's good and there's bad. And there's a lot of bad white people, too, who are agreeing to allow this to happen. And it sucks. It sucks really bad. But again, don't believe me. Let's talk. Let's hear from. I'm going to play you a bunch of information, a lot of clips tonight about what's going on in other countries as well as this country about Islam and what it's doing and what purpose it has. And I think it's an eye-opener. A lot of people are aware, but there's a lot of people who just don't have a clue and think that we should just be nice to them because they're being nice to us. They're being nice to us right now until they get enough in here, and then all of a sudden they're not going to be so nice unless you listen to them. It's called a takeover, folks. But here you go. This is an Islamic takeover that's going on. It's been going on. I think it's England, right? Yeah, we'll find out. Here we
million Muslims now live in Europe. At the turn of the century, that number was less than 500,000, and more are arriving every day. As the people who lead these countries try to do what Joe Biden tried to do here, and that is fundamentally change the racial and ethnic makeup of a nation and make white Christians a minority in their own country. In England alone, right now, 10 major cities, including London, now have Muslim mayors in a nation that was built around the Church of England. Muslims are now running major cities across the country for the first time in history, and the English want us to believe that this is all normal.
The Muslim will come out and he will stand for truth and he will stand for justice. May Allah give us the ability to stand for the haqq.
So this is not the Middle East. It's not East Minneapolis even. That is England. And when you see images like that, you can't help but ask why anyone, a prime minister or a president or a king, would deliberately try to destroy their own country. Why would you do that? Why is this being done? And because European leaders still celebrate our failed experiment in open borders, it failed here in the United States, and because they've chosen to stand with radical Muslims over their own people, it's because of all of these reasons these countries are falling apart and failing as the attack on Western civilization continues. In November 2015, 130 people were killed in Paris, France, when ISIS terrorists carried out multiple attacks in one day, targeting crowded restaurants, cafes, and large crowds. The French did nothing to close their borders. In March 2016, 32 people were killed at an airport in Belgium after an ISIS terrorist attack. They did nothing to secure their borders. In July 2016, 86 people were killed when ISIS terrorists ran down a Bastille Day crowd again in France, and they did nothing to close the border. The border stayed open after the 2017 London Bridge attack and the 2017 Manchester suicide bombing and the 2024 Christmas market attack in Germany. None of this was enough to stop or even slow the flow of radical Muslims into Western Europe. According to the European Union Terrorism Report, Europe had 58 terrorist attacks in 2024 alone, and no elected official in Europe has done anything to address this problem. Think about that.
Seriously, think about that. They're Islamic terrorists, okay? It's either think like they think, be like them, or die. That's it. There's no in between. You're either like them and do as they do, or you belong dead. Can't say it any other way. Doesn't matter. Man, woman, child. Doesn't matter. And that's their ideology. And that's all they know how to do is blow shit up and kill people. Through terror. That's why they're called terrorists, kids. But Poland has a better idea. And they've been acting on their better idea. And it's proven to be successful. And this is why I'm telling you, again, there are some good Muslim people. I'm not saying all, but unfortunately, the bad ones are ruining it for the good ones. So sorry. We'll weed that out later. You know, again, Iran has the whole place was full of good Islamic people, or Muslim people, not Islamic, Muslim people. But they weren't Islamic radicalists until that regime came in and forced them to be like that. And as the generations go by and the years go by, the kids are growing up in it, and that's all they know. They never knew what it was like to be free, to have the women have an education, go to school, be able to drive, not have their faces covered up. It's just bullshit. These people are friggin' Neanderthals, and they're running around in their friggin' pajamas and sandals. But here's what Poland did, and it's been successful. And this is what Europe needs to do. This is what Europe absolutely has to do. Here you go. I suggest you learn from Poland and be like Poland.
How many refugees has Poland taken?
0.
And you're proud of that?
If you are asking me, if you are asking me about Muslims illegal immigration, none. Not even one will come to Poland. Not even one if it's illegal. We took over 2 million Ukrainians who are working, who are peaceful in Poland. We will not receive even one Muslim because this is what we promised.
But I asked not about illegal immigrants. I asked about refugees. And Jean-Claude Juncker, the Commission President, says that you're racist. You sound proud of the fact that you haven't taken any refugees.
Of course, because this is what our people are expecting from our government. That's number one. This is why our government was elected. But this is why Poland is so safe. This is the reason why we had not even one terrorist attack. Look at the streets in Poland. And we can be called populists, nationalists, racists. I don't care. I care about my family and about my country.
Ms. Lockbeal, I mean...
The lowest unemployment in European Union is Poland. The highest GDP after COVID in European Union is Poland. One of the lowest debts in European Union is Poland. So don't give us this rubbish about the need of educated immigration, as we heard yesterday. We don't need your doctors. We don't need your engineers. Take them all and pay for them. We don't need them. You know why? Because there's 0 terrorist attacks in Poland. Why? Because there is no illegal migration in Poland. So don't give me this look. Don't give me these arguments about the populism, because this is a fact. This is your data from Eurostat. So we don't need your engineers. We don't need your doctors. Take them. Do not teach us. Do not teach us about democracy, because we know what the democracy is. So learn from Poland. Be like Poland.
It's hard to make a comeback after that, because he's telling you the facts. Keep the shit out of your country, and your country will be shit free. It's that simple. It's not being mean. It's caring for your country. Those people in Poland, he just stated everything. Lowest crime, unemployment's great. You can walk outside, it's clean. No terrorist attacks, because they don't have any terrorists. Learn from Poland. Be like Poland. You know, they're being tough, but they got a great country. A great country that you want to live in, that you can walk outside and not be afraid. Things like that. Same thing with crime, all of that. You know, we've let crime get out of hand. People are letting their kids grow up and be wild animals. Going to be talking a lot about that. I'm so sick of this. There's just no discipline. It's crazy. It just blows my mind. I mean, you know, there's always going to be a little bit of something, but this is getting to be like the standard now. It's just like the new norm. And this is shameful. It's embarrassing. But anyway, let's bring it back into America. Let's hear from a guy in Boston who tried to hang his American flag. I think he was across from City Hall. And the cops made him take his American flag down because they were flying the Somali flag at City Hall. I mean, this is an eye-opener, folks. I need you to understand what these city officials are caving to and agreeing to, and they're destroying our cities and our country. And Boston's got another woke mayor who's she's probably making a good bit of money doing it. But again, they all need to go. Here you go. This is Boston, Massachusetts. Of all places, Boston used to be whitier than white. And I'm not saying that means anything, but I mean, you're Boston people. Boston. I mean, there was a time when the Boston Celtics basketball team was all white too. Now I think they got a token white guy with red hair. I think, isn't he like the mascot or whatever? That's it. Nothing wrong with that if they're all good people. But if they're pieces of shit, well, I got a problem with it. I don't care what color you are. I don't need that in my life. And here you go. Boston, Massachusetts has a major problem. And it's infiltrated their government now, too. Here you go.
The flag. Yeah, well, that's great. It doesn't do any good when it's taken down. Making me take the flag down. The city of Boston complained. Terrible, terrible. Put that Somali flag up in 2 seconds. I mean, how crazy is this? Let me set up what you just saw. So the gentleman in that video is Robert Burke. He's running for Congress in Massachusetts, and he decided that it was appropriate to put up an American flag in City Hall in Boston. That's City Hall right there. But he wanted to do it in Boston this week, America's 250th birthday, after the mayor of Boston, Michelle Wu, celebrated Somali Independence Day and raised the Somali flag over City Hall. And officials, you just saw, they forced him to take it down. And when you look right across the street, there's a Somali flag. There it is, flapping in the wind in Boston. Here's the mayor, Michelle Wu, celebrating Somali Independence Day.
Somalia's Independence Day serves as a powerful symbol of freedom, unity, and the enduring fight for justice and dignity for all communities. Now, therefore, I, Michelle Wu, Mayor of the City of Boston, do hereby proclaim Friday, June 26, 2026, to be Somali Flag Raising Day in the City of Boston.
Okay, I'll just say the people that are from Somalia that are here for a reason, because Somalia is a third world disaster. That's not my opinion. That's a fact. They don't even have a proper government. We don't even recognize what they do have. Robert Burke is running for Congress in the 8th Congressional District in Massachusetts against Democrat Stephen Lynch, who's been in Congress for the last 25 years.
Welcome to Woken Wooville.
Why does anyone here, and I mean this seriously, why does anyone in Boston or anyone else here in the U.S. care about raising a Somali flag in an American city?
My whole position was I was going into the FIFA celebration. They had like a watch party. I've been in there before, so I was going to bring the flag for that purpose. And then I heard that Michelle Rudeau there was going to raise a Somali flag. And I said, listen, if they're going to raise a Somali flag, which is a foreign independence, I think we should raise our flag, the 250th anniversary of our country, and forget about this Somali stuff. You know, that was the whole point. I just happened to be going through there to go to the watch party there, basically.
You know, one of the first things you do in battle, when you win a battle, think Iwo Jima, think the American Revolution, the first thing you do is raise your flag over whoever you've vanquished, over their fort or the field or whatever. And this is now happening. Politicians are doing this like it's a good thing, like we're celebrating this. And I wanted to have you on because I'm from Massachusetts. The shot heard around the world. You know, Paul Revere's Midnight Ride, John Adams, Sam Adams, Bunker Hill, the Boston Tea Party, and they're honoring an East African third world country, people that have nothing to do with the founding of this nation 250 years ago, just days before our birthday.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure many will. But I don't ever recall, if they're celebrating Somali Independence Day, shouldn't they be celebrating that in Somali? I mean, I don't think anybody is celebrating 4th of July in Italy, Japan. I don't get it. But that's how screwed up some of these people have gotten. They've gotten to some of these, and now they're government leaders and things like that. They're doing stupid stuff like this. It's like, it makes no sense. You don't celebrate their independence here. They should be celebrating it there. I mean, okay, if you're Somali, look, there's all kinds of small communities in New York or Boston alone. You got your Little Italy, you got, your Chinatown and San Francisco's and things like that. I can understand the little community because that's their heritage doing that. But when you're putting it up in in City Hall, that's a hell of a statement right there. You don't just, now it's getting to be like, we're flying the flags for everything. Remember a couple of years ago, the gay pride flag was up at the post office, and it's like, what the hell does that got to do with anything? I'm starting to get upset. Hang on. It's stupid. What does that have to do with government? It's nonsense. We've caved. They're trying to get you to cave to the nonsense. Just like when you had your she, her, he, him. I'm telling you, I'm on LinkedIn. I still see a lot of people with their profiles with the he, him, and she, her. What LinkedIn is really kind of woke. It really is. I just got into it last night with somebody. They got into it with me. Doesn't bother me one bit, but I obviously he got butthurt from a comment I made, which was a factual comment, but they just choose to not believe. And but it's like, let's stop playing these reindeer games. I don't understand, folks. What's real is real, and what's not is not. And somebody's got to start slapping a few people or waking people up and going, you know what? I know that they almost got away with this stuff, but they didn't. At the end of the day, they didn't. And the party's the stupid party's over. We're not going to play these reindeer games anymore. There's no need to fly a flag of a different country at a city hall in America. There just isn't. Dearborn, Michigan. That place. Don't believe me. I don't even hear. Dearborn, Michigan. There you go. I'm not even going to say anything. I'll let the video. It's very short, very direct.
Dearborn, Michigan yesterday, a city of over 100,000 people. It is over 45% Muslim. If you look, you'll notice not a single American flag. Dearborn, Michigan is lost. It's gone. It's not coming back. A city where the Muslim population isn't interested in assimilation or the American dream. They're not. They are interested in taking over, and they have.
45% of the population in Dearborn, Michigan. That used to be the heart of our automobile companies. 45% is Muslim. They're talking about, and then when you got that many people, they're running for office. They're running for police chief. They're running for mayors. They're running for councilmen, They're running for principals and superintendents of schools. I'm pretty sure it was in Dearborn. One of these videos I saw, they wanted to put an Islamic emblem on the police uniforms. So how crazy is that? Because they pretty much, when there's that many of them, they're running everything the way they want to run it, not by the rules of the United States or the protocol of the United States. And this is what's happening. How much is it going to take before people around them, because the overflow, it's overflowing. It's getting a little bit more and more everywhere. What's it going to take before all of a sudden we have to get, when push comes to shove? This is ridiculous, folks. And unfortunately, a lot of people, just trying to go, well, maybe it'll just all go away. It's like, it's not going to go away. They're on a mission. There's a purpose for what they're doing. It's called the takeover. It may take another 25, 30 years. But if we allow this, like one of the girls said in one of the other videos, it'll be Americanistan or whatever she called it. I mean, they'll flat out tell you. I think I have a couple of videos. They're flat out tell you to your face, we came here to take this country. They're patient, little by little. Keep having a million zillion kids. They keep on growing the population. And meanwhile, white people are having less and less kids. Again, I don't care about race. I care about good and bad. The majority of them are here to not do good. There's a lot of great Muslim people. I can't say it enough. So I don't want to hear shit about this because it's factual. You know it, and you know it. It's that simple. What city you want to go to next? Oh, wait. Hang on here. Let's see. Beth. Let's hear from Beth. Beth? All right, Beth, what did you say? It's been too long. It's been too long. We're letting things go, and it's going to be harder to fix. But again, you have to have solid leaders. You have to have strong people in charge to make it happen. Otherwise, everybody's just complacent. Nobody wants to stir the boat. Same thing happened with COVID. They didn't want to talk about it. They didn't want to rock the boat. They didn't want anybody to get mad with them. It's like, shame on you. Screw it. Life is too damn short to be faking. Oh, let's go to New York. Let's go to New York. The newest. It's filling up, and these people in New York, they're not ashamed by one bit to tell you about what their plans are for New York. Here you go. Look and learn and listen.
This is the Islamic Republic of New Yorkistan. Islam will be in every household. Inshallah, the whole world is Muslim. Welcome to Mamdani's New York. You see this city? You see how it looks? Inshallah, your city looks just like this too.
These right here are the type of individuals that Democrats will gladly let waltz right into our country. Individuals like this are not looking to come to the United States, work hard, and assimilate into our culture. They're looking to come for a different reason. I can tell you right now, I have zero interest in the rest of America looking like this video. None. Zero. Nada. But you have Democrats that will let individuals that want to let individuals like this into our country in the name of diversity. That is stupidity. If you actually like our culture and our values. A while back, I was at a wedding and this man, he's probably in his 60s and his wife is in her 60s as well. And we were just sitting at a table talking. And the conversation came up to what is the greatest threat to America. And if I'm not mistaken, he started talking about Islam. I think he said, I don't think it's Russia. I don't think it's China. I think it's Islam. And I said, I can see what you're saying, but I actually think you're wrong. And here's what I told him. I actually think it's more of liberal white people, or we could argue Democrats, because they will let the Muslims who want to come in and change our country, destroy our culture, and morph it into what they want. They will gladly let these people in. These individuals are not a threat if we keep them out of our country and we don't let them start to get in here and morph our culture. They become a threat when we let them inside the gate and allow them to start morphing our culture, or attempting to morph our culture, attempting to morph what it means to be an American, trying to make Islam more mainstream in the United States. Because if we keep them at the gate, if we keep them out, they can't influence America that much. The way you harm our country is from the inside. The outside isn't really going to work. And Democrats, a lot of these liberals with suicidal empathy, are willing to essentially let anybody into our country. I actually think that is arguably the biggest threat in our country. Liberals with suicidal empathy. And if we do not stand and defend the fabric of our nation, defend our culture, not let these people in, and not feel bad for removing people when we can like this, we might lose our country. And think about New York City, one of Democrats' meccas. Look who they put in office. A Muslim socialist. The fabric of this nation is biblical and based off of free markets and capitalism. And Democrats are doing the opposite. A Muslim socialist. Think about that. So again, it's up to us to defend our country.
It is going to be up to us because, and again, a lot of people go, well, what can I do? If you talk enough about it and you get loud enough, I can't say that enough. That goes with everything. It's like then they'll know the natives are getting restless and they ain't having it. You heard him at the beginning of the video. The Muslim guy's just like, we are here to take this country and make everybody Muslim. That's all they care about. That's what they grew up being taught, and now they believe it to their core. And if you're not Muslim, you don't belong to, you don't deserve to live. And they're going to take this country, and you will become Muslim, or else. They tell that to your face, and they're firm believers in that shit. That's why it can't happen. A minute ago, I saw from Beth, she said it's been too long. Okay, and then I didn't understand. I thought she was talking about since, this stuff has been going on. I just wanted to clear it all up. Since I've seen your show, I don't know, is that a good thing or a bad thing, Beth? But I'm glad you made it. Again, tonight's education night. I think every night is, but I'm glad you're here. You're always welcome here. Please share. I'm glad you made yourself present and commented too. I like knowing who's around. It's good. But this stuff's got to stop. This stuff has to stop. I mean, and it will. I think it will. Again, I think the United States, because if the United States falls, then any country can fall because we are the strongest. And you can see around. Canada is wishy-washy going to hell. Mexico, crooked as hell. There's no stability there. It's all, threats and paid for and who's bought and paid for and all that stuff. I mean, it just is what it is. So we're the last man standing. And you can hate the orange man all you want, but he's the only one with the balls that's been telling them, it's like, you guys suck and we're not having it. But there's a whole big mess to fix. So it's unfortunately, and they keep throwing wrenches in the fan and making it not so easy. And you got these stupid white liberal people, and I mean stupid, who just cave to this stuff thinking we can all get along. I'm telling you, sadly, I wish it were true. But Islam does not want to get along and coincide with other. You see what goes on in Africa? You probably don't. They murder villages in Africa, Christian villages. They're blacks or whites or whatever. They're wiping them out like genocide. Still going on. Hatcheting them to death, shooting them, whatever. They go in and they just wipe them all out because you're either with them or you're not. That's the sad part of what goes on in other parts of the world that the media does not tell you nearly enough about to keep you on your toes, to educate you, because they don't want you strong. They want you to stay weak and frail. Sorry, just sucks. I'm going to show you a real quick thing about today's Democratic Socialist Party and what used to be the Democratic Party. It's a real game. That's why I'm so anti-Democrat now. I keep trying to tell you folks. I used to believe in Democrats, but they're not the Democrats that your grandparents came from. They're not the Democrats even my parents came from. It's changed. And I'm not going to stand and stay on a ship that is just getting ready to hit that friggin' iceberg. They've already hit the iceberg. It's just insanity now. I don't care about Democrat and I don't care about Republican. I'm pretty common sense. If somebody's showing me something worthy of going to, I'll go to it. I don't give a shit what side you're on because the sides mean nothing. Again, the both wings come from the same bird, all that crap. I wish we could wipe the whole system out and do it some other way. But this is what we've got. So you got to bet on a few of the good ones who aren't bought and paid for. I'm telling you, even on the Republican side, there's people that've got to go. A lot of them. But there are some really good ones who believe in this country and want to keep it strong. But it's an uphill battle when you have so many people that are crooked. It's horrible. But here, this is a quick reference from the current democratic system, democratic socialist system, and all the young people are buying into it because they think they're going to get everything for free and the government's going to take care of everything. They're stupid because they've been brainwashed. They know nothing about the past because they keep trying to wipe the past out. Socialism and communism does not work. It's been tried and tried over and over, and it's failed. You need to look back and figure it out, but they don't want you knowing that. Here.
We have to continue to elect more socialists, and we have to ensure that We are unapologetic about our socialism.
Let me ask you, sir, just how serious a threat to our national security are these communist subversive activities in the United States today?
Well, I think they're serious. I think it's a matter that we should continue to give great care and attention to. We should support the laws which the United States has passed in order to protect us from those who would destroy us from within. We should sustain the Department of Justice in its efforts and the FBI, and we should be continually alert.
Mondami's just flat out telling him how we need to support, be a democratic socialist and be unapologetic because it's such a great way to be. And there's people that are just eating it up, thinking, oh yeah, he's got the answer. That answer failed so many times. That's why it doesn't exist anymore. And they keep trying to bring it back because the only people that'll benefit from it are people like Mondami, the leaders. Again, I really don't want to have to say I told you so, because if I have to get to that point where I say I told you so, we've already been nailed. You know what's really cool? Chicago. Chicago is a friggin' mess. Their crime, their mayor sucks. He's a piece of shit. The crime rate, the murder rate on weekends alone is horrific. Shootings. He does nothing about it. However, even the black community realizes, one thing we can all come together on is the black community realizes that the Muslims over there suck more because they're destroying shit over there worse than the black crime that's going on over there. And they're fighting the Muslims. And that goes to show you, just because they're both black doesn't mean anything. There's good and there's bad. Check it out.
There's no black, there's no white in that video. Okay? There's no black or white people. I see Americans fighting against Muslim migrants. That's what I see. The only colors I'm paying attention to when I watch that video are 3 colors. Red, white, and blue. I don't see black. I don't see white, but Americans. I support this video so much. I love what I'm seeing, even though it's a bit graphic, violent, chaotic, but I love the fact that Americans are wanting to take back America from invaders like Islam.
Key word, Americans. He just hit the nail on the head. We all come from different ethnic backgrounds in America. I'm Greek. There's Italians, there's Jews, there's Hispanics, there's Asians, whatever. But we are in America being Americans. Whether we're American Asians, American Hispanics, we're not trying to turn this place, I'm not trying to turn this place into Greece. An Italian isn't trying to turn it into Italy. We live in America. We support America. We are Americans all together. But the Muslims, they want to come here and turn America into Islam. Flat out, folks. Flat out. I'm going to sum this up. I got this one video. Well, I got a few more, but this one is sums it up real quick about everything I'm showing you. I really hope you're taking this stuff to heart. I'm just trying to bring the facts. Share it with these people who are just freaking clueless. I don't care about the flack I get from some of these assholes. I really don't. Facts are facts. We live in America. I'm not a crazy, patriotic over the top, but I do love being here and I love this country. I was born here. This is my country. But yet I have the freedom to practice what religion I choose without somebody telling me what I have to do. I have the freedom to do this show without somebody telling me what to do. I have the freedom to do nothing and be broke and poor if it makes me happy, or to be successful. And nobody's holding me back because we're in America. Should have had some patriotic music going on in the background. But it's the truth. It's the truth. The God's honest truth. Muslims? It's their way or the highway. There's no in between. Make sure you remember that. Again, can't say it enough. There are some amazingly beautiful Muslims in this world that are peace-loving people. But those are few between. The Islam Muslims, it's their way or the highway. I feel bad that the peace-loving Muslims are caught in the middle. It's the way it is. It's the way it is. And we can figure it out, who's good and who's bad. But we need to get rid of the pieces of shit. We need to get them out of here. Let them go back to their little friggin' caves and stay there. Blows my mind. Here you go. Here's this pretty much tells it all, sums it all up for this portion about everything I've been just trying to relay to you guys.
There is an Islamic invasion happening in America right now, whether you see it or not. The mayor of New York City is a Muslim. The mayor of Dearborn, Michigan is a Muslim. The mayor of St. Louis Park is a Muslim. And the mayor candidate of Minneapolis is a Muslim. Islam for the last 1,400 years have never coexisted with any people, any color, any tribe. And I'm not just talking out of, what I'm educated on. I'm talking from experience. You see, I grew up in Egypt, and Egypt 1,400 years ago was a Christian country. We were 90% Christian 1,400 years ago until Islam came in our country. They conquered it. They burnt our churches, killed our men, raped the women, took the kids and turned them Muslim. And now Egypt is 90% Muslim and 10% Christian. So I'm coming to you from the future to warn you that America might end up this way if the men of America do not wake up.
Share that video if anything you're going to share. I'd hope you'd share everything all the time. But that man speaks the truth. That's how they do it. Over time, the more you wipe out, the less people remember. They're trying to change history, American history, too. All these assholes over here. The woke. They're trying to wipe out history. And I got to tell you, I got videos from the WEF, too, and they want to wipe out history so they can create their own history, fake history, for you to believe. And for the newbies, for younger people growing up, you're only going to know what you're going to know. They make a valid point. We can't allow them to do that. They're assholes. There's not that many of them. The WEF, there's only probably 4,000 of those people. I've said that a million times. But they think that they're the only ones to run the world. Like they know better than us. They're creepy. They're friggin' creepy. I don't have time for it on this show tonight. And we have guests the next few weeks. But I'll get it on here, and then we'll getting close to the midterms and then the holidays. It's hard for me to fit in things that you really need to know, but you do really need to know these things. It's so important. What we got here? There you go. This is what Carl's got to say. Yeah, I get it. Look, I'm not telling anybody what to believe in and what to do, but just do it. That's your business. But don't force it on other people. And that's the problem with what's going on. They're not here to mind their own business and just be loving, kind neighbors who just believe in other things. They are here to force you into assimilation. Or else. That last video, like I said, sums it up pretty darn good. What we got? I don't know if anybody's last week flooded all this talk about this new B movie that came out called Citizen Vigilante. Anybody familiar with what I'm talking about? There's this movie that came out. It was made in Europe. And all I can say is it's basically like a Clint Eastwood movie or a Charles Bronson Death Wish movie where, you know, someone takes things into their own hands because they've had enough. They took that style and they matched it up with what's going on currently in this world, especially in Europe. And they made a movie of it. I mean, we used to have movies like that in the 70s and things like that. We don't see much of that anymore. What's another version of it? Either way. So this movie came out, and it's a cheap movie. They didn't have a lot of money. I think they made it for like $9 million, as opposed to, you know, your average movie is $100 million. If you can do a $40 million movie, I guess that's, you know, really great too. But they did it very low budget, so it's not the greatest of everything. But the premise of it is real world right now, what's going on, and somebody had enough and isn't going to take it anymore and started taking things into his own hands. Now, again, they say we're not telling people to take it into their own hands, but it's and the movie just started. It got banned in Germany, and a bunch of places didn't want you to see this movie because they're afraid it's going to promote a lot of violence and things like that. It's what's happening in this world, folks. They don't want you to see it because they don't want you to realize what's truly going on in this world. And so they're not allowing it to be played. Well, Elon Musk posted it all last weekend for free on X. Amazon Prime you can rent the movie on Amazon Prime. Bezos says, fuck it, I'm going to, I'll sell it. He'll sell anything. He'll sell anything. He needs more money for his rockets, those penis-looking rockets that don't really go anywhere. Blue Origin, whatever the hell it is. You need to start drinking gin. But anyway, here's two last little videos talking about this movie. And I think for your own good, whether you think it's a great movie or not, the premise is real. If you have the time, I think you should check it out. Proving a point that, like, this is what's happening in our world.
Won't believe the reason Germany banned this movie, but Citizen Vigilante just hit #1 on Amazon Prime purchases in the United States. It's also blowing up on Apple TV charts, and audiences are giving it a massive 95% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. So it's basically a Euro Punisher movie. So the actor and lead Armie Hammer plays an ordinary man that basically snaps when the justice system fails and starts delivering the punishment the courts won't. Kind of like Dexter. So the reason Germany banned it, according to the movie's director, Uwe Boll, was for inciting violence against migrants, where the rating system in Germany refused to give it a rating, and the director Uwe Boll said that now you can only watch it if you bring in a Blu-ray from Austria or Switzerland. He also told The Telegraph that it was a deliberate censorship decision, and he even hired a lawyer to complain about it, but he lost in a 6-2 vote and was told that the film was inciting violence against migrants. So this move by Germany just gave this movie way more credit than it probably would have ever received had they just given it a rating. But it's on Amazon Prime, and Elon Musk even shared the full version on X.
Yeah. So they tried to ban it and because they don't want it to be seen. And now there's more talk than ever about this movie, which makes, people curious. What's so bad about this movie? Here's what I feel is a good explanation of the movie. And then after that, it's up to you whether you choose to watch it or not. But again, education is power. And here you go.
Elon Musk just put Uwe Boll's new Army Hammer movie, Citizen Vigilante, on X for free for 48 hours. Now, the last time I looked, it was at about 38 million streams. The movie was effectively banned in Germany and still hasn't been released in the UK because critics say it's Islamophobic. I disagree. It is not Islamophobic. It is anti-Islam. You're allowed to criticize Christianity. You're allowed to criticize Scientology. You're allowed to criticize Judaism. Why should Islam be off limits? That's free speech. Now let's talk about the movie. Army Hammer plays a rich trust fund psychopath. Solid casting. Is it a great movie? No. Is it a good movie? No. The visual effects are rough. The dialogue's cheesy. But did I watch every second of it? Yes, I did. Ever since my dad took me to Clint Eastwood and Charles Bronson movies, I've loved revenge movies. Give me a story where the system fails, somebody snaps, and starts handing out street justice, and I'm probably watching. Citizen Vigilante isn't high art. It's messy. It's provocative. It's definitely going to offend people. But if you're a fan of revenge pictures like I am, you might just dig it.
Worth the watch. You might learn something too. Again, it's pretty, they based it on what's going on right now, which is current events. They just said enough is enough. I mean, it's only so, what's the harm? If anything, you'll just be entertained. Speaking of entertainment, I want to thank everybody for watching Life of Peter G, The Peter G Show. I want to remind you, next week, Wednesday, July 15th, I'm going to have Miss Debbie Hansen from the Flora May Foundation on this show. It's a nonprofit organization that takes care of and helps desperate parents with struggling teens who are experiencing mental issues and substance abuse challenges and things like that. That basically, they help the parents cope with what they're going through because the parents suffer watching their kids go down the drain. I mean, I can't even imagine that. So she's going to be on the show, and we're going to be talking about that because it's a big issue. It happens every day. I'm sure everybody knows somebody going through these problems. So join me Wednesday, July 15th, right here on Life of Peter G, The Peter G Show, with Ms. Debbie Hansen on the show from the Flora May Foundation, who takes care of and helps desperate parents with struggling kids with experiencing mental health issues and substance abuse issues. They help the parents keep their sanity so that way they can help the children. And that's what's going on. But I do want to thank everybody for watching Life of Peter G, The Peter G Show. I need you guys to share, and hit that follow button, subscribe. YouTube's still punishing me. They're never going to let up. But if you subscribe, that's just one more person that they can't deny to watch the shows and see the clips and things like that. Facebook, I love you guys. Keep the Facebook stuff going. We're going to be cracking 100,000 followers. Again, over 2 million views this month. I am stoked. I love you guys for it. Keep it up because people are sharing. I see it all the time, or they tell me, and I do see it. Hit the share buttons on the short clips, all that stuff. It all helps and keeps me right here so I can do stuff for you. Again, love me or hate me, I have a purpose, and that's why I'm here. And that's why even the haters watch. The haters watch because they're supposed to be here. Everything has a reason. All right? That's it. I want everybody to have a great, safe week. I will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Right, Peter? Yes, right. Right, Peter. And I have anything else? Yeah, be kind. Please. Always that reminder. Be kind. Life has got a lot of ups and downs going on. There's a lot going on in life. It's a hustle, and people are fragile and frail, and some people just can't take it anymore, and they had enough, and they bark. But it's hard. So think before you speak. And let's get a couple of time. Think before you speak, it helps. Because sometimes you can refrain from saying something you might wish you hadn't. Life's a bitch. You don't have to take a bunch of crap from people, but you don't have to be an ass either. So just keep it level. Let me do these last two comments for the night. Thanks for a great show, Peter. Eye-opening. It is eye-opening, isn't it? There's a lot of people. I mean, I get a lot of comments from people going, we already know that. And it's like, God bless you. I'm glad that you're up on things because we need that. but they fail to realize because they don't do a show like this. I talk to all kinds of people, and I'm blown out of the water with how many people are just oblivious to so many things. I mean, I don't know how they walk through the raindrops. I just don't understand it. But we need to do this, and we need to do eye-opening things because we need to all, keep our act together. So, yeah, it is eye-opening, and thank you. Share, and thanks for being part of the show. All right? What else we got here? Beth, sure wish they'd let me see. This was by accident. Who's they? Well, accidents, maybe not. Coincidence? I don't think so. Everything has a reason, Beth. I'm easy to find. You're on Facebook. Make sure you hit go to the official Peter G Show page, hit the like button, or I think it's a like button or follow button, and then you'll be able to see me. I'm all over the place. Believe me. I'm all over the place. And we work hard at this. It's in order for you to be able to see. And then share. But thank you. I love you. I do. And there's my old pal. What's up? Have you been watching and you just been quiet in the background, MCF Senior? Shalom. All right. Good to see you. You're better late than never, unless you've been watching quietly in the background. But great show tonight. Great show tonight. I hope you caught it. If you didn't, you might want to rewind and watch it after the show because I think it was right up your alley. I think so. But again, what do I know? All right. But thanks for being here. That's it. That's it, folks. So again, just handle it. I love you guys. Enjoy your week. Be safe. Love your family and friends. Do the best you can do. My name is Peter G. I want to thank everybody for watching Life of Peter G, the Peter G Show, and I'll see you next week right here. Peace out.
Peter G Show, Peter G Show, divorced dad, single dad, divorced dad, single dad, Peter G Show.